who will share his valuable experience in the field of retail banking, operations, and digital transformation. Let's dive into amazing discussion.
Welcome to another interesting episode of College to Corporate Insight Unplugged Season 3, Episode 9. Welcome to the show about the amazing world of invention, creativity, and technology. Join us as we explore the captivity stories, obstacles, and expertise of visionary leaders revolutionizing the business and the technology landscape. I'm your host, Sampada Padrat, and today we have very special guest, Mr. Hiren Bhatt, a renowned expert in retail banking operations and digital transformations. With, your, with over 2 decades of extensive experience in the banking and financial service industry, Mr. Hiren has driven excellence in customers onboarding, KYC, fraud management, compliance, AI, machine learning, and robotic process automations. As a senior vice president and leadership team member at prominent organizations like IDFC First Bank, Yes Bank, and ICICI Bank, he has spreaded groundbreaking initiatives from regional processing center to digital tool optimizations. Beyond operational expertise, Mr. Hirin's innovative approach in tackling challenges make him a true thought leader in the financial space. In today's episode, we will delve into Mr. Hirin's remarkable career, explore the future of banking in the digital era, and uncover valuable lessons for leaders navigating transformations in a fast-paced world. Join us for an enlightening and inspiring conversations. We are very excited for this podcast because I'm confident that our viewer will gain a wealth of corporate knowledge from you. Before we begin, we would like to humble welcome you to our podcast series. Thank you for joining, sir. How are you today?
I'm good. Thank you, Team Corporate Connects from IBS Mumbai. It will be my privilege to interact with you guys for next 30-45 minutes.
Yes.
Thank you again.
So, can we begin the question?
Yeah, please.
What inspired you to enter the banking industry, and how did your early experience shape your career trajectory?
So basically, before we begin, I would like to have one disclaimer about this podcast. These are my personal views only, and there is no connect to with my current or past employers. This is purely my personal view, and there is no bearing on my any existing or previous employer. Yeah. To start with, what is your what inspired me? So just to share my experience in my early age, my father used to send me to bank for cash withdrawal and all this thing, and I used to visit banks so frequently because he was working in one of the college only, and he did not find to visit the banks during banking hours because in those days banking hours were restricted to 10 to 1 only. So that was the first experience I had, hands-on experience, you can say, on for banking transaction, and that excites me. Whenever I visit the banks, I was exciting to see the people working over there, counting the cash and providing the cash, providing various services to the customer. All these things were registered somewhere in my mind, and was excited and interested to know, okay, how bank functions. So this is the first hand experience, and at the age of you can say 13, 14 years of a young boy, and that somewhere led me to a banking career. Sorry, I'm not able to hear you.
So, am I audible?
Yeah.
It was very difficult challenges, sir.
Yeah.
So let's begin with next question.
Yeah.
You have been deeply involved in compliance and fraud management. How do you balance strict regulations with customer centricity?
So basically, it's a very interesting and important question and very difficult to answer also because as you know, banking is a highly regulated industry. Or majority of the regulators like RBI, Income Tax Department, TRAI, everyone is regulating bank in some or other way. As well as it's a very customer centric and sensitive industry also because we bankers are handling the money at the end of day. So handling a money is not a easy task in current world. So you can say it's a daily walk of a banker on a tightrope to manage a balance between a regulation as well as to understand the customer need, to satisfy the customer need, and to some extent go beyond the duty and also help customer in building their wealth and protecting their money. So it's a net and a balancing task for a banker throughout the day. Okay, how best we can serve the customer and how best we can protect the customer's money from fraudster, etc. So it's a very difficult task, yes, and particularly in the era of technological advancement, it is becoming complex day by day.
So it was challenging. So
Yeah,
let's.
yeah.
So how do you envisage the future of API banking and its impact on both bank and customer?
So in terms of API, you can say it's a backbone of any technology, irrespective of it's a banking or some other industry. You can say it's a in BFSI segment, particularly insurance. You can say mutual fund industry everywhere. So API banking is a very important task, important technology available to the bankers and all the BFSI industries because, as you are aware, key APIs connect internal system with the external system. API connects within the organization. Data transfers through APIs. Data is exposed to other parties through API. So lot many things are happening through APIs only. So I can say API is the most critical technology being explored and used extensively in banking in particular and BFSI in specific. So API is a future, API is a presence of banking industry. Just to give an example, if you are visiting the bank bazaar, you are getting various products information over there, how they are collecting. They are offering FD to be opened through bank bazaar. Cred is offering some mutual fund to be purchased from various AMCs. On Google Pay, you are performing various transactions. On Phone Pay, you are performing various transactions. So all these things are being backed by APIs. So all these aggregators, all these institutions are connected through APIs. Whenever customer visit that site or aggregator URL, they are inputting data on their platform. The data travels through the respective organization and hitting this through various channels by APIs, indirectly in API or some advanced version of APIs. So API is a backbone for any technology for data transfer and data analysis also because it aggregate the data, it segregate the data, it push the data, it pull the data. So you can say it's a very critical technology being explored and used by extensively in banking industry.
It was very informative, sir.
Uh,
So let's moving forward. What are the
yeah.
primary objective of KYC operations in bank? How do they contribute to the overall risk management framework?
So KYC, if you ask me, earlier it was, if you look back, I look back at my early career in 2004-5 when I started my career in particular in banking. It was just a document verification part, nothing else. एक आईडी कार्ड लेते थे उसमें देख लिया कि कस्टमर का फोटो इज मैचिंग
Yes.
and accounts get open. And in earlier days, you will be surprised that even KYC documents were not prescribed by RBI. By introducing a customer, suppose I am a existing customer of X bank and I'm introducing you as a customer of that bank. I have to just sign कि I know this person and basis that introduction only accounts were get opened. That was as simple as that. But over a period of time, regulations evolved, fraud started emerging in financial market, technology started emerging, then all this regulation comes into picture. And it is important that it is not only a domestic regulator or any Indian regulators who are governing the banking industry. We need to comply with the international regulations also. You must have heard about FATF,
Yes, yes.
financial ex yeah, financial action task force. So they are also issuing guidelines from time to time how to prevent fraud, how to control the economy, how to control the terrorist funding and kind of thing. So all this external as well as internal ecosystem has forced the entire banking industry to evolve and bring the KYC guidelines in picture, and slowly it has emerged uh, the what we are seeing today. Yes, KYC again is a very critical aspect in terms of we KYC process is not a just document verification or identification of customer. It's a gatekeeping activity, or you can say it's a line of defense to the particular bank as well as the banking industry as a whole. Because while performing the KYC operations, we are allowing or not allowing a customer to banking industry and banking system. So any institute who is allowing a wrong customer will lead to a risk to the entire industry. Because after onboarding a customer in banking industry, you don't know what type of transaction he or she is going to perform. So it looks very simple. If you read the guidelines in letter, it looks simple. You have to provide the ID proof, you have to provide the address proof, and accounts get open. But it is not that simple. Nowadays, it's becoming complex day by day with the introduction of technology also. Because banks are also well equipped with the technology, but we need to acknowledge that fraudsters are advanced in committing the fraud through technology. So both are in a close fight. Banks are trying to protect the industry. Fraudsters are trying to crack the system. So KYC operations is very critical in terms of banking industry. Rather, it's critical for entire BFSI segment because yeah. Secondly, if you ask me how it help in controlling the risk, if any organization is strong in KYC, KYC again, let me clarify, is not a one-time exercise. While onboarding a customer, KYC is done, it is not done. It's an ongoing exercise till the time customer is a customer of that institution. We need to monitor the customer behavior through transactions, through their mail, their communication with the bank, through their communication with the branch. So we need to be alert every time while interacting with the customer. And as we discuss, again, we have to trust the customer because every time we cannot doubt the customer. So it's a balancing. Again, I'm saying it's a balancing act all the time for a banker to trust the customer and to comply with the guidelines and to have a balance between both the things. So it is very critical process of KYC operation in banking domain. I see.
It was very difficult. So, how do you verify customer identity and what technology do you leverage for this purpose?
Well, it's a very interesting question, and I think you should know the things going on. So if you ask, again, I'm taking you back to 15, 20 years back when only paper-based customer onboarding was happening. Someone was providing PAN card and driving license and accounts get open. Now, with the introduction of all this digital initiative of Government of India, and particularly empowering the Aadhaar, with the introduction of Aadhaar, KYC operation has gone under on a complete change because everything is done digitally right now as far as Aadhaar based account opening is concerned. Because UIDAI has provided a facility to all the institutions to open account using the biometrics, using your facial recognition, using your iris. Even offline Aadhaar, if you are providing the copy of Aadhaar, you can validate through UIDAI. So it's a complete change what banks were doing earlier 15, 20 years back, and right now how bank customers are doing the banks are doing the KYC thing. Plus now in addition to KYC document verification part, there are lot many things are being added by banks and institutions because KYC is beyond the documentation part. Because I cannot come to know ki how customer is, what is the customer behavior basis one document. I need to know the customer. It's a KYC, know your customer. So knowing a customer through document is one part. Knowing customer behavior, customer background is another part. How I can come to know about the customer behavior? So lot many tools are available right now in the market where we can verify the customer profile. Even if you visit the some of the bank's website and check their account opening form, we banking industry has started gathering the data of customer social media handle. So by gathering this detail, there are tools available to scan this handle for how what type of post is being done by that user, that customer, what type of behavior is there on social media, whether is in supporting any anti national activities, whether is supporting any anti-social activities. So all basis all these things, institutions are continuously monitoring the customer so that any fraudulent event can be avoided. Or it can give you some alerts that you need to watch a particular set of customers. And beyond that, at the end of the day, it's a decision to be taken by some human being, what action needs to be taken. But it's an interesting part. Secondly, now, in addition to your paper-based thing, you must have heard about the video banking, video KYC. In 2020, during COVID time, RBI has allowed the video KYC part. So you need to open an account on your own, by visiting your bank's website. Post opening an account, you have to perform video KYC, where you will connect with the bank staff through video bank channel, and you will be questioned for some of the parameters. What are you doing? What is your business? Kind of questions are there. Some of the technical checks are also being done. If you belong to which territory, you are currently available in India or not, you are live or not. Because in current days, it is very difficult to identify the fake person, whether a live person is there on video or it's some bots are there. It's very difficult. So only technology can help us to identify whether a live person is there or not. So all these platforms are available, tech solutions are available to perform such kind of digital customer onboarding also. In addition to that, now banks are also evaluating the customer basis their geography, from which geography it belongs to. Because some of the geography in India have been identified where some fraudulent activities are on higher side, or some frauds are occurring from that region only. So we need to be more, we cannot deny the banking service to the people belonging to that geography because frauds are happening from that location. But we have to be vigilant for a customer who belongs to that territory. So all these things are in background, all these things are being implemented in banking industry to avoid the fraud, to avoid the fraudster from entering into banking system.
I hope the viewers has learned a lot of things from this.
Yeah.
So what strategy do you employ to streamline KYC process and reduce operational cost?
So in terms of streamlining KYC, because it's a again banking is a business of money, so we need to be very vigilant by performing the KYC and other due diligence part. So maximum usage of technology is the only solution because to handle the large number of volumes, it is humanly not possible. So we use technology extensively. Uh, just to give you an idea, which type of technologies are available in the market. So currently, we can use, as we discussed, we can use the video KYC part. Banks are using the facial recognition part. So if your face is matching with your ID detail, it will give you a certain comfort percentage. It is matching to some extent. And basis the internal policy, bankers are taking a call, or technology itself can take a call whether this document belong to that person or not. Plus, technologies are available where customer can be identified through their some background checking. Uh, you can have access to his or her credit score. You must have aware about the credit score mechanism.
Yes.
So that credit score gives a fair idea ki where does the customer stand in terms of his or her financial stability, whether this customer is eligible to be offered some product or not. All these things are available for till now we are discussing about the individual customer. There are large number of customers, those who are entities like companies, partnership firms. All these customers are also there. For them also various technological tools are available whereby we can use the data from register of companies, from GST portal. We can use their bank statement to analyze what is the financial stability of the entity, whether we can offer them loans or not. So lot many technological tools are available in the market. And just to give you a background, just like fintech, there are reg techs are also available, technological firms who are offering a regulatory technology is called RegTech. So such RegTech companies are also offering various solutions to curb the fraud, to control the fraud and minimize the risk.
It was very interesting, sir.
Yeah.
So can you discuss the importance of public-private partnership in combating financial crime?
Yes, again, it's a need of an hour. And I can say confidently by basis my experience that India has done a great progress in terms of public-private partnership. I would extend this question by answering that it is not only a public-private partnership. Here, public-private as well as people's partnership is required now, because organizations and governments are working very closely to curb the fraud. But here, as a citizen of the nation, as a customer of the bank, or as a participant in the banking entire banking process, we need to be also very vigilant. Because what I have experienced in my career in banking, majority fraud I can say is happening by compromising some details by the customer only. Yes, there will be some frauds which has happened because of some system glitch. I'm not saying no, but majority I have experienced that key customers are compromising their details, personal details, OTP, password, debit card, credit card to other unknown people, and they end up is getting trapped in some kind of fraud. Simple example I am giving you. Whenever if someone is entering any ATM center to withdraw the cash, and he's struggling to get the cash because of technical issue, because of some network issue, transaction is getting processed very slowly, and all of a sudden someone is entering and trying to help. Let me try whether I'll be able to help you or not. Basically, we should not allow a second person in ATM center when someone is transacting. But people in hurry of, are ready to provide the card कि yes please help me, एक मेरा help कर दो, नहीं मेरे को बहुत जल्दी है,
Yes.
try करो. क्या होता है? They insert the card and all of a sudden they ask the pin. That guy only will enter the pin, and he or she knows कि network is slow, so it will take time to money to come out. By the time what happens, that person was in hurry, and that guy will say it is not working. So what happens? That customer will take the card and he will move out. And within a fraction of second, money will come and that person will take the money and go away. So we have to be sometimes be passionate, be cautious while transacting with and while using the digital channels. We should not compromise our personal details at any cost. It is okay for delay in transaction. If it is not going through, it's okay. but do not compromise any your personal detail, OTP, password, cards to any other person. So this is how uh, I can say ki it is important to have a public private plus people partnership. Yes, coming back to other aspect of the this is about the people. I am talking now. Let us focus on the public-private thing. So just to give you background, ki now all the regulators are working very closely, including Reserve Bank of India, Income Tax Department, Ministry of Home Affairs, and TRI, insurance companies. All are sharing data with each other about the fraudulent transaction, fraudsters, etc. Plus, banks are also sharing the data with regulators. These are the customers who are not paying their EMIs, they are NPA in their books. And this data is being extensively used by all the participants in the banking industry. So this is helping each other to have a better data security, better fraud management, better risk management. So it is working fine, but yes, again, at government level also, you must have heard about the cybercrime branches. Police departments have started separate unit called cybercrime branch. So in case if any cybercrime happen or any financial fraud happen through digital channel, you need not to approach the normal police station. You have to approach the cybercrime branch. You can file FIR online on cybercrime branch website, and there are experts available in police department also who understand the technology, who understand the how frauds are happening and how to crack it. So all regulators or banking partners are working in hand to hand to have a better risk management across nation. Plus, as we discussed, FATF is an organization who is also regulating, guiding the banking industry or economy of the various nations. FATF also evaluate and provide ranking to the nations in terms of how they are advancing their fraud management system, how they are advancing in restricting the terrorist funding, how they're good at controlling the AML in AML activity. You must have heard our neighboring nation was on the verge of getting a rating of gray nation. So by having such kind of negative annotation of the country, that country will be debarred from getting any financial help from World Bank or any such international organizations. So all these things are going and we are in better place as compared to other countries, I can say, because you must have experienced digital payments, the way we are handling. It's a fantabulous. None of the country in the world has a such kind of robust payment system in the way we are handling. Because we don't have a much exposure to the payment system of other country, we are not aware ki how great we are in payment system. You ask someone, some of your relatives staying in USA or UK, so-called developed nation, how they are making payments and how we are handling the payments. There is a vast difference, and we are far ahead of them.
Yes.
So we have to be proud about this thing. Our nation is doing good in all the aspects in terms of technology, in terms of your, you can say your fraud control mechanism, public-private partnership. So from all the angles, we are in a sweet spot, and I'm confident the banking industry will be at next level in the next decade also.
So it was very helpful. You gave the examples. So it was. I hope the viewer had very interesting, getting interested. So next question: how will involving the technology such as digital identity verification impact KYC process?
Okay. So just to give you a perspective, currently, if you ask me, this is my experience, I can say 70 to 80% transaction in the range of 70 to 80, or I can comfortably say 80-90% transaction, including your payment transaction, your UPI, your IMPS or NEFT, RTGS, customer onboarding, your email chain, mobile chain, whatever transactions are there now, I can confidently say that banks are processing 70 to 90% transactions through digital channel, depending on their internal capability, risk-taking ability, or technological advancement they have. So it's a technology is helping a lot in terms of handling the bulk transaction. The magnitude of volume we are handling is not humanly possible right now. So technology is the only solution to handle such kind of large volume. I will give you an example when I started my career in 2003-4. Just to give you a perspective, if you are getting a check of 5,000 rupees from a person who is residing at Delhi and you are residing at Mumbai. So at that time, what happens? That person was visiting his or her branch, not bank. He was supposed to visit his or her branch only. That person will deposit that check. That branch will verify it and pack that check in an envelope and through India Post or courier. They were dispatching the physical check to Mumbai branch. And that Mumbai branch will receive after 5-7 days that physical copy. They verify it and they again prepare a demand draft. So demand draft ke through they were receiving the money at Delhi. Then Delhi branch will park that demand draft in clearing process, and that clearing process again took 3-4 days. So end to end, a fund of 5,000 rupees transfer from Mumbai to Delhi was taking minimum 20 days. Now what happens? If you get a call, I am in need of money from your friend at midnight at 2 o'clock, you just open your mobile, open Google Pay, Phone Pay, or any either your banking app. Just you need not even remember your account number, friend's account number. Just select the mobile number, transfer, click, money gone, credited immediately. So this is how things have changed. And this is change is possible only because of technological advancement only. So this is how things are changing, and it will be further changed with the introduction of AI. It is in we are in a very early stage of usage of AI and cloud-based technology because of some fraud angle, risk angle. Still, all banks across industry, across world are exploring how best we can use the AI with having a risk control and compliance controls around it. But it will be there uh, in extensive use 5 years, 10 years down the line. And again, banking will have a phase of complete change, or I can say it's a paradigm shift in banking industry with the introduction of AI, AML, and other technology which are emerging. Blockchain is being tested for various processes, which wherein various participants are there in some processes. I can quote an example of your trade finance transaction, wherein multiple peoples are involved. One bank is sending documents to another bank. Again, some customer intervention is required. Again, a port authority intervention is required. Again, some intermediaries intervention is required. So all these people are using the same workflow through blockchain, and it make that workflow make sure that all are taking their action and entire transaction gone is processed successfully.
Yes.
So all these technologies are being used, explored, and tested by industry, and it will definitely change the way, even the way we are working today. It will undergo a dramatic change over 5 years down the line.
Was very helpful, sir. So, what strategy do you employ to reduce customers' friction during the onboarding process?
Yeah, it's again a interesting question to answer. So, yes, technology definitely helps, but again, technology requires manual control also. So while deploying a technology, there are multiple steps to identify an opportunity for digitalization. Then we need to test it from risk angle, compliance angle, whether it is in compliance with the regulatory guidelines or not, whether we are opening up any risk by automating something. So all these things need to be done before deploying any technological solution. Post deployment also, we need to monitor the transaction on that platform. We cannot leave it orphan key. We have automated this thing. This will work on its own. No, we need to monitor it continuously 24/7. Hence, banks are supposed to enforce by regulator to have a BCP kind of concept. BCP is nothing but your DR or another location kind of thing. So suppose you are operating out of this location, you need to have another site from where, in case of any emergency, you need to shut down this location. You need to operate from some other location. This was the earlier BCP kind of setup. Now with the technological introduction, it is a we need to have a same system in two different. So during routine hours, we have to process transaction through one system, but same system is deployed in another server also. So periodically, we need to switch from X server to Y server to have a one test whether if that system goes down, then immediately we should switch to another system, which is a replica of the original system. All these things, technological complexity are there, which we can discuss in some other podcast. But we need to, just like human being, all this technology we need, it requires a monitoring also, and continuous monitoring is required. Secondly, you must have heard about the ethical hacking kind of thing. Have you heard
Yes,
about it? Yeah,
yes, Sophie. Yes,
yeah. So ethical hacking is nothing but just this kind of test only.
yes.
So all these institutions are inviting the technocrat to test how strong their systems are. They proactively ask you try to break the controls we have built to test it from various angles. Because if I am building a system, it will have some limitation, or there are chances that I miss out something. So all these external parties or professional hackers can help us in testing this from an independent testing. So all these things are required, and yes, of course, it's not important to deploy the system. It's important to continuously monitor and to all ensure end of day it is again we need to keep in mind two things: compliance plus customer centricity. We need to balance again while again this is two things while deploying the technology. It should take care of my compliance. It should not create more complexity in the life of customer. It should help customer for having a better experience for smooth transaction processing. So these are again everything drilled down to these 2 points: customer centricity and compliance when it comes to a banking.
So, lastly, if you were to give one piece of advice to a young professionals to lead in the banking industry, what would it be, sir?
Okay, bank those who are aspiring to join the banking.
Yes.
So I can say you need to learn technology, and it is important to unlearn the technology also. It is very important to unlearn something which you are learn and where you are comfortable about. So you should not stick key, I am comfortable about this technology, it's working fine, then why should I explore something new? Because market will not stick with you. Market will take its shape and you have to adapt with the change. So it is important to learn and unlearn things, those who want to join the bank, because banking is a very dynamic industry. Secondly, you have to be open to the profile. You need to explore various profile during if you want to join the banking. Banking is not only about opening an account or opening a fixed deposit. There are various aspects in banking. You have a trade finance operations, you have a sales channel, you have marketing, you have a technology, you have a BPRG team who take care of process management part, you have a compliance team, you have a risk management team. So all these areas are there which comes together and make a bank. So you need to explore various profiles in banking if you are aspiring to work in banking industry, because your diverse experience will only you to in a hierarchy of bank, and you will be able to move around in your career, move ahead in your career. So don't restrict yourself to a single domain. Okay, I'm good at sales, I'm good at communicating with the customer, I'll stick to the sales. No, you need to have experience of diverse portfolios in any organization. Secondly, you need to stick to the basics of banking, because uh, I I would like to share with you that banking, there is a relationship with banker and the customer is of trusteeship. You are not the owner of the money of the customer, you are the trustee of the money. So there is a difference between trusteeship and ownership. So how best you can use that money in the interest of customer. So always you need to know that you are trustee of the money. You cannot misuse it or use at your will. So this trusteeship principle needs to be there in your mind. Secondly, always be ethical in all dealing with your customer. If, if you are dealing with the customer, you have to be ethical while dealing with the customer. If you are in operations, you have to be ethical while processing the transaction. If you are in technology, you need to build a technology which is ethical and in compliance with the regulatory guidelines. So these are the basic things I can say. If you are aspiring to work in banking industry, you need to keep this in mind.
It was very helpful, sir. So it was my pleasure having you on the podcast this week, sir. We are deeply grateful to you for sharing your remarkable journey, expertise, and visionary insight with us. Your thought on digital transformation, customer centered banking, and leadership have been truly inspiring and enlightening. We are confident our listeners have gained valuable takeaway to apply in their own career and business. Thank you again, Mr. Hiren, for your time and perspectives. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us for episode 9. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. You can find us on Spotify as well. So connect with us on social media for more exciting content. We are looking forward to see you in episode 10.